Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and y'all, we are back for yet again another palette review, and I am so excited because Dominique Cosmetics finally released their Rustic Glam palette. Now, this is a palette review that I have been waiting to do. I mean, like, sneak preview, look at these shades. Everything about this palette, from the unicarton to the palette to the colors to the aesthetic in every way, shape, and form is something that I am so here for. Now, let's go ahead and start in with pricing and how I purchased this. So, when they first launched it on their website last week, the middle of last week sometime, it was actually a palette and brush bundle, which they did also release 5 brushes in this collection, and the bundle together was $89. Now, in that bundle, which I'll go ahead and give you a close-up here in a second, but you did get these 5 brushes, which I have to say, they feel really nice. The handles are like a, I would say more of like a soft touch kind of feel. Very nice. They're very lightweight. My only issue whenever I have a brush like this, and this is just because, like, guys, I have massive man hands. I talk about this all the time. Broad shoulders, big hands, big face. Like, very masculine, big old womanly features going on up in this place. And because of these big old features, what ends up happening is when I have a brush like this one, which I don't know if it picks up on camera, but it does taper downward near the end, and it's not super long. And again, this is just because I have big hands, but it doesn't listen to me. I'm like, it's just because I have such big old hands. Like, if I was a man right now, girl, am I coming on to you? But for me, when I hold this brush, what ends up happening is most of the weight is actually addressed near the front of the brush. Now, for a lot of people, that won't make a difference. For me, I like to have a little bit more weight in the tail just because it gives me a little bit more balance. I feel like I can loosen up the grip a little bit when I'm working. I can get tighter if I want a more condensed color, or I can go towards the back and lighten it up. Now, even for that slight weight issue being off, I will say I do like these. Obviously, I haven't used them yet. They're still in pristine, perfect packaging and condition, but I really do enjoy the different profiles that she released. I think it's really nice to have such a good arrangement going into this collection. Now, like I told you before, I purchased all of this in a bundle, so the palette and the brushes for $89, and the shipping was free, but these are available on her website. You can buy them all as a bundle for $45, or you can buy them individually for $12 a brush. Now, I actually don't think as a price point that's a bad price. My preferred brushes, and you guys probably can tell at this point, I love Wet n Wild. I love ABH Cosmetics. Their brushes for me are just like the end-all be-all. I love a lot of Morphe brushes, so for me, I'm usually leaning toward the more affordable range for brushes anyways. But that being said, I don't think $12 for a brush is crazy out there, and I really do like I said, a lot of these profiles. There's more of a flat packer. You have kind of a fluffy packer, a liner brush, a fluffy type flat brush, which will be great through the crease, and then this really nice long one that I actually think will be really good for getting in and doing like inner detail work right in here. When I like going in with like that inner pop of color, I think this would be a great brush because it's so long. And I'm actually reading this straight from the website now. It says under the description of the brush set that this includes 5 detailed eye brushes, each one created for a unique purpose. They are vegan and cruelty-free and are infused with hemp seed, which strengthen and boost your skin's natural radiance. Now, I obviously can't say whether or not that's true. It's not something I can really test as far as an aspect of these goes. Now, one of the things that I like about that description and also what is on the brushes is that the name or that unique purpose that they were talking about is actually written right on the brush, which I think is great. So they have the blend-in shade, the crease blur, the packer, the blade, and the pigment, i.e. like, okay, the pigment one, obviously that's going to be going on with a pigment, something you press on, and it is a flat paddle brush. I think little details like that will actually kind of help guide you in what it's for, how to use it, because again, when we're all getting started in makeup, whether this is your first purchase or not, sometimes it can be very overwhelming. I know I had like quite the struggle getting into it there for a second, and I really just, I don't know, I love that aspect of these brushes. Now, again, whether or not they're worth $12 a piece, buying in the set for $45 makes them $9 a piece. If that's worth it for you, you can go ahead. Obviously, like I said, I haven't tried them yet, so we will be testing these out. But now, brushes aside, it is time to unveil and talk about the main event, the thing we are all here living, breathing, dying, gagging for. I personally, y'all, everything about this was just really getting me going. It is $44, and we have the Rustic Glam palette. Now, this right here is the unicarton. If this doesn't give you like all the desires and hopes of your dreams to open up a palette, I don't know what will. This makes me so happy. Now, I know a lot of people will talk about like, oh, it's a unicarton, it's just a package, it's just a whatever. But for me, the packaging and like leading into the product is just like, it's what gets me going. It's like the excitement. It's like the goosebumps of it all. y'all. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just love packaging. It's just like my mama always used to teach me, y'all. We eat with our eyes first. I used to not understand, like, Mom, why do you put all this work and effort into cakes and into making all of your food look so pretty? And my mom used to explain over and over again that, Paige, we eat with our eyes first. It's something where if something is aesthetically pleasing to you and it's something that your eyes and your brain and like this whole moment just happens, it's something that you will enjoy just that much more. And so going in to makeup and seeing packaging and palettes and the way that colors are arranged, now more than ever, I understand what she was saying, because this palette, like, the moment I saw it teased, guys, my heart leapt, because this for me gives me rustic. It gives me like henna tattoo, reminds me of when I was younger. Like, I love everything about this. And then opening it up, I love the color selection, the color story. I love how they're placed in here. I love that it has just a little bit of everything, and it all goes with that like rustic, almost burnt or old world kind of hue. And you know, I'm gonna just say this, and it's gonna sound really weird, and it's kind of like a memory lane thing for me, but when I was younger, we lived in a farmhouse, like an old over 100-year-old farmhouse for the first like 20 some years of my life. And I loved this farmhouse so much. It was so beautiful. And when we took down our wallpaper to put up new wallpaper and like redecorate, they had this old wallpaper up that was from like the 60s, and it was just so, like, the colors even after all these years were just so vibrant, and it had these exact same like hues of blue with this pink with this orange, and then like these rustic browns all over the place in like this fun little like filigree patterns. And when I look at this, that's what I think of. I think of like that time, and it just, I don't know, for some reason this color story really does speak to me. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive into a little information about the product here on their website. This is a $44 palette, and it says in the description, the Rustic Glam palette is a free spirit wandering beauty who likes to take risks, and most importantly is all about good vibes. Whether you're feeling a neutral smoked out look or a fierce glam look, Rustic is there to make every memorable moment. And also, according to the back of the palette here, it says that each one of these shades is 1.4 grams, which does translate over to 0.049 ounces, which y'all know I'm all about that 0.05. So these are right in the mark. And I just feel like before I dive in, I can tell you, love the color story, love the layout. I'm already loving so many things. One might say I'm eating the whole thing with my eyes and living for it. Now, in the past, I have loved Dominique Cosmetics. I really enjoy their palettes. I have tried, actually, no, I have all of the other ones, or there's three, right? The original, then there was the lemonade palette, and then there's the berries and cream palette. Yes, I have all three, and they're all so good. Like, the quality is insane. And even going through and swatching these, they apply like butter. So how about we go ahead, we bring the camera in, and we just get started. Yes. Now, before I go in, I am going to take a little bit of this Jeffree Star Cosmetics loose powder, and I'm going to bake out the face. Okay, guys, so I've just been sitting here, first of all, looking like this, which I just know is so great. I think what we're going to go ahead and start off with is I want to prime my base, and I'm going to go in with the ABH Eye Primer here. I've been testing out and using this quite a bit, and I really like the vibrancy that this gives off. So I'm just going to go ahead and prime both the lids with this real quick. All right, so we're good. We're primed. We're ready to rock, and I think I want to go in with Desert Queen first, which is this beautiful orange shade, and I want to put that near the inner portion of the eye, and I'm going to take this in with the crease blur brush from her collection. Whoa, girl, look at that pigment, honey. Whoa. Now, I am getting a fair amount of kick in pan. I don't know if you can see it over there or not. That doesn't bother me at all, especially when the shadows are like really smooth and blendable. So I just like to tell you guys in case it bothers you. I personally, I do not care, especially if I'm going to get a night, like, look at that pigmentation. Like, how can I care? Oh my God, that's so pretty. Whoa, like bam, instant color. And I can tell you already, I love the profile of this brush. This is nice. I like this. I love little brushes like this for really getting in and blending out this inner portion right here. Oh, it's like a dream. And I really want to take this and like blend it all the way up to the brow bone, because that's going to help open up my eye, because I have very, very hooded eyes. So I just want to take and make sure it's just blended all the way up there. Yes. Now, I'm only taking this to about right here, you can see, because I am going to go in with two more colors, and I want to make sure I've got room for those. So I just want to make sure I don't keep going. And y'all, when it comes to oranges on the inner corner, oranges, yellows, anything like that, whoa, I'll just keep going for days. It's like a sickness. Now next up, right next to that orange, I want to grab Wildflower, which is this beautiful like light pale pink shade, and I want to take that on the blend-in shade. This is the DS03, and I'm going to take that and butt it right up next to that orange and kind of blend them in together here. Ooh, that's a pretty pink. And you know, I have to say, for a pink going on that's this light, I actually feel like it was a pretty immediate payoff too. And I did tell you guys in the past when I worked with Dominique Cosmetics, the shadows, they blended like a dream. And one of the things that I really do enjoy about her shadows is that when you apply them to the lid, they have such a beautiful, almost effortless way that because they're like soft and velvety, the mattes are just fantastic. So when you apply them to the lid, it's just the quickest shadow to work with. And I'm just gonna go back in with that orange shader brush, no additional product, and I'm just going to very lightly blend that little area where the pink and the orange meet. They pretty much like completely blended on their own because they're great shades, but just like to go in because y'all know I love a good blend. And also I really like the profile of this one. This again is the blend-in shade. It's a nice kind of flat packer brush, but it's really fluffy at the same time. And it reminds me a lot of this one. This is the Morphe E13, except the E13, as you can see right here, is a little bit thicker. There you go. You can see that the Morphe, which is over here, is a little thicker, but when you turn them to the side, you can really see that the thickness of the Morphe one is about, I would say, 50% thicker than the one from Dominique Cosmetics. So I feel like the one from her brand is actually really nice for what I just did, going in there and kind of meeting colors in the middle of the crease. Really good for that. But now I am going to use the Morphe E13 and dive into Evil Eye, which is this nice blue shade, and that is going to get packed onto the outer portion of the eye. I mainly want to see, oh yes, that is such a good tone right now. Look at that color. Oh my God, it's so good. That is such a beautiful blue. Oh my gosh, I'm crazy about this. Now, do I realize that right now I kind of might look like a clown? Yes, I do. Hopefully we're gonna remedy that situation. Hopefully. Oh, and also, just so you guys, this is completely random, by the way, but I have had a couple of you leaving comments about my coloring being off, like in my videos, and I do know that, and I thank you guys for obviously continuing to, A, bear with me, but also be honest. I am really trying to fix that. I don't know why it's off randomly from one day to the next. I'm gonna go back in, by the way, and blend that pink a little bit with the blue, but I am working with it, and I just want you guys to know that I do appreciate you still, like, watching my videos and not getting annoyed with it, because I promise you it's one of the most annoying things I've ever dealt with, is trying to figure out lighting and all of these sort of things, but I am avidly working on it. So just keep bearing with me. I promise I will keep trying to make it work. If you guys have any suggestions or know of anything I can try, please let me know. One of you recommended down in the comments a light meter, I believe, and I'm actually really intrigued by that. I've like read up about it online. I don't know how it'll work filming on my camera, so if you have like an article or videos or anything that you know on it, please go ahead and drop them down in the comments, because I would 100% love to hear from you, just saying, because your girl will take all the help she can get. Like, I'm not proud to ask for help. Your girl needs it, and I know it. So now we're here. I actually love the way that that pink and the blue kind of come together, and they form like this really beautiful, almost light purple shade. Now, you will see like down in this area back here on both sides, I'm getting a little sloppy, and that's because I'm going to go in more with a cut crease. So I'm not like going to spend all this time blending something I'm going to cover up. Like, no thank you. Ain't nobody got time for that business. Girl, no. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to take the pigment brush, and I'm actually going to lay down a cut crease using that ABH eye primer. And then I'm going to go in with Free Spirit, which is the matte cream shade. And I'm going to pretty much pack that all on top of the cut crease. And then near the end of the cut crease, I'm going to go in and add a little bit more of that blue shade Evil Eye to fade it into the outer portion of the eye. Oh my word, you guys, I love the way that that looks. It's so pretty. Everything blended absolutely perfectly. Now I do want to go in and I want to redefine, I think, the inner portion of that crease just a freckle. So I'm going to go in and kind of rebuff in the Desert Queen, the orange shade, just to give me back a little bit of that color. I didn't take the cut crease super high, but I just want to make sure that it's like, look at that. It's so beautiful. I love how these colors perform. I'm going to go in and do the same thing with the pink, just a little bit. I don't need to add a ton of this color, but I just want to make sure everything is nice and poppy. I'm actually going to go ahead and dust off the bake on this side and do a little something on the lower lash line. So I'm going to go ahead and take Gypsy, which is that really pretty purple shimmer, and I'm going to take this on a BH number 7. Now this is kind of a fluffy brush, so I'm going to be pretty careful and kind of just wiggle it very lightly back and forth. Wow, the payoff on that's beautiful. Because what I want to do is lay down just the color purple. I'm not so much looking for the shimmer. Like, yes, it's pretty, but I mainly just want that nice focus right down there because I love the contrast of that purple to everything we have on the upper lash line. Now, another super random thing I want to try is I want to go in with her blade brush right here, this really, really thin, precise one, and I want to take Moonchild, which is this really beautiful, like glittery black blue kind of shade, and I want to take a little bit of this on the blade and see if I can come in here and give myself just a tiny little bit of a wing. It won't be anything crazy, and I don't want to go in with like a glitter glue and like define it. I just want to see how this brush performs, and it's actually a really nice precise brush. Like, look at that. Girl, you better calm down with that loud car of yours. All right, you guys, so that is pretty much this eye all done. Now I'm gonna run off of camera, obviously, finish up the other eye, finish the rest of the face, and I'll be right back to give you the rest of my thoughts, what I think, is it worth it, is it not, all that good stuff. So hang tight and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, and this is the finished look. What do we think? Have to be honest, I was really uncomfortable going into this, which normally I don't say when I do a palette review. I feel like as I get going, I'm always like more and more comfortable. You know, as I add each color, I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And this was one of those looks that until the very end when it all came together, I was a little bit apprehensive about how it would look. And not only do I love how it looks like on camera and how it kind of sits on my face and really elongates the eyes, but I also really love the way that these undertones play off of each other. That's probably my favorite part. I feel like the orange and the blue complement each other on the inner and outer portions of my eye so much nicer than I ever could have anticipated. And one of my favorite things too is that they found a way to incorporate very now like current shades like this purple, these blues, pinks, you know, this orangey gold combo right here. They found a way to add all of those into this palette, give it the undertone, but also be very bright and vibrant and bold and beautiful all at the same time. And I love that so much too about this palette. And I think what I'm trying to say here is that, guys, I have nothing negative to say so far about this palette. Using it was an absolute dream, and I couldn't be happier. I love the packaging, the presentation, the formulas of these matte shades are so good. Overall, I do live for this palette. I think it is so, so good. And like I said, I will definitely be using it again. As far as the brushes go, y'all know I am always straight up honest. I liked those much more than I was anticipating. My favorite one would probably have to be the long, skinny one that I used to blend out that orange. I love that. It's my favorite kind of brush, truth be told. Don't get me wrong, I liked them all. I think they all had very nice, distinct uses to them, which I appreciate. Do I think there's something you need? You know what? No, I think you can get probably similar brushes from like BH Cosmetics if you're more on a budget. But if you wanted to pick these up, test them out, if you're like me and you kind of like to see what every brand has and what they offer and what their formula is, I think you would enjoy them. They do all have a purpose. And I like that she didn't release 5 brushes and they're all either pointless or very similar. They're all very different aesthetics and different feels. And I really, really appreciate that. But you guys, those are my thoughts overall on the collection. Like I said, first impression wise, I love it. I really enjoy it. The swatches are great. Everything blends. Mattes are very consistent. Shimmers were consistent. No issues with anything in here across the board. Nothing was patchy. Everything blended. And if you're wondering real quick what is on my lips, I went in with Colourpop lip liner in Little One and then a little bit of the ABH Gloss in Tara, T-A-R-A, over top of that. My highlight is the white gold from e.l.f. And everything else will of course be listed down below. So if you're curious and you want to check out any of those products, please feel free to drift down below, check them out, go down to the comments, leave me your thoughts, opinions on this look overall. While you're down there, don't forget you can scuttle on up to that description box. Check me out on Instagram and on Twitter because y'all know they are both linked down there. I am mainly over on Instagram. And you can check me out here on YouTube by subscribing and turning on your post notifications because y'all, I upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you are looking for early, fun, fresh content, you have come to the right place, honey boo boo. But you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. It'll come back, I promise. And y'all, I love that my words just stop. Hello, everybody, welcome back. Everybody! Every time. Don't you die for me. I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. And you guys, they call this the Rustic Glam palette. The Rustic Glam palette? The Rustic Glam! Wow, I kind of scared myself on that one a little bit. It was a little bit abrupt, a little bit harsh, a little bit calm down. Calm down, Paige, calm down. Are you ever met with that haunting feeling that you went in, you tried to fix your brows, and you just filmed an entire video and you're pretty confident that one was bigger than the other the whole time? No, just me? Okay, cool. Oh well, that's all right. I like them. They turned out pretty good. Just a little uneven. Just a little bit.